Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. The morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker, and many more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness, so there's no gossip, no scandal, no K-words, no Kanye talk at all on this show. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have topics and guests, and if you missed the filmmaker Susie Singer Carter, who talked about not just her Soul Surfer movie, but how to improve the neglect in nursing homes, to the girl from UNCLE. These are just in the last 2 weeks. Just go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe, and you will get those shows and more. And I'm so delighted to have back in my studio today someone, it's been years, but I did interview her at the Conscious Life Expo with Frankie Salazar. Did I get that right? Who was a Dodger pitcher, I think, who she did some healing on, but I'm so delighted to have her back. She's a medical medium, trance channeler, hands-on healer, and spiritual teacher. Blessed with a unique array of extraordinary healing and psychic abilities, Kimberly Meredith is quickly gaining recognition as one of the world's most gifted medical mediumship healers and spiritual speakers. She's often compared to Edgar Cayce, the father of holistic medicine, himself a medical medium and the most documented psychic of the 20th century. Kimberly's near-death experience in 2013 completely awakened her to the gifts of God. She has healed and helped many thousands of people and is able to scan, and she's going to do that with me today, people and animals, accurately diagnosing diseases and symptoms. She communicates through divinely guided sign language. She also speaks in fifth dimensional etheric, angelic light language. We're going to have to unpack that one in order to heal, awaken, and move humanity forward. Her best-selling book, Awakening to the Fifth Dimension, Discovering the Soul's Path to Healing, published by Macmillan and Hay House, with a foreword by neurosurgeon Norman Shealy, who is a leading founder of holistic medicine. Please welcome back to my studio, Kimberly Meredith. So delighted to have you back.
Hi, I am so excited to be here. You are beautiful.
Oh, now you know why she's my guest again. But before we get started, because I have an array of guests, and only here will you get from classic TV from Stephanie Powers to Kimberly Meredith, psychic healer. I mean, we cover a lot of different areas. So with no disrespect intended, y'all know I'm a reluctant woo-woo. But if we're going to have woo-woo on, I'm going to have the best woo-woo. So today will be an education for me as well, as a scientist myself. But the great thing about Kimberly is she has a lot of documented success in the kind of work she does. So I'm not here, trying to lead people down a woo-woo path, but I'm here to educate and to balance out the seen and the unseen. So I'm really delighted to have Kimberly here with me today to help me do that. Now, before we get started, I start For the last couple of years, I've started every single show every weekday morning with breakfast. And I have breakfast with my co host or breakfast with my guest. And I didn't tell you this because I don't like people to prepare, but we're going to take a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So the top of the bun is what am I grateful for that's outside of myself? And the bottom of the bun, is what am I grateful for inside of myself? What do I appreciate about myself that I want you to do before you go to bed? But I would like you to start every morning with me or without me with gratitude. So I'll start and we'll go back and forth. And we have people in my cashew gallery already. Welcome to my cashew gallery. We've got Eat It Be Kiss. So nice to see you. She's so excited for this show. I think I caught a comment, I think, going by earlier when I did the promo that she was waiting for this. So welcome, Eat It. So you can participate with breakfast and have breakfast with us too. And just put your gratitudes and appreciations in the chat. And we'll get to 8 because 8's a lucky number in Chinese. It's a homophone for good fortune. And then we'll go to the bottom of the bun with appreciation. Here we go. I am grateful that I have raced sailboats for 34 seasons. And it's just amazing to be out on the water. This is the toughest time for me because we're off season and this is like the middle of off season. So I'm looking out at the water going, I can't wait to get back out racing. So I'm grateful that I race sailboats. What about you? What are you grateful for, Kimberly?
Oh my gosh. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for God, the omnipresent, my health.
Great. I'm grateful that I can buy perfume and there's a wide assortment that I get to use to try to find that fragrance that someone will say, oh, what is that you're wearing? And it's not, instead of you need something.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
What else are you grateful for?
Oh my gosh. I'm grateful. Oh my God. I'm grateful for I love Young Living essential oil. When you said perfume, I love the scent of they have a brand called Joy. I love that essential oil, Joy. Yeah. Joy. There you go. Joy. It's like the color of your microphone. I love that color.
Oh, that's so funny. And isn't that serendipitous that I have a coffee? I'm grateful for my coffee. That first sip of coffee in the morning, it's pure delight. So I'm grateful for that. One more gratitude.
Sweet. I'm grateful for the 5th dimension. I love being in that dimension, that energy field of the frequency, a frequency of love, being in that energy field of love.
Beautiful. All right, let's go to the bottom of the bun, which is gratitude turned inwards. And the reason why I do this is a lot of us, I'm grateful that we're focusing on mental health. And I'm grateful to my honorable moniker, Oprah, who I was introduced to Oprah as the Asian Oprah. And she, I think, single-handedly has brought needed attention to the human dimension instead of, Jerry Springer and her time and all of that. But she's made a concerted effort with her career to help us feel okay to talk about things like sadness and, past pain and things like that. So I'm grateful to her. Added gratitude on the top of the bun. But I do this appreciation exercise because I want to work your muscle. I don't want you to reach for things outside of yourself to make yourself feel better, because it's my BS, my belief system, that self-care, self-approval, self-love are the foundation to good mental health. And so that's why we do this part of the exercise. Those of you who thought I was Swedish, I'm actually Chinese. And in my culture, as well as Japanese, there's a saying, the nail that stands up is hammered down. So there's not much incentive or approval to actually say, I'm good at this, or I'm glad that I have this. because it's not part of the norm. And I know people grew up, I don't know about you, Kimberly, who grew up with you're not all that, don't toot your own horn. And as a result of that, we go looking for love in all the wrong places. And with social media, we're looking for someone to like us, literally. So in order to balance out that, we do the exercise. What do I like about myself at the bottom of the bun? So what do I like about myself? I appreciate my ability to talk. Not everybody likes it, but I appreciate my ability to be able to just motivate myself as I'm motivating others. What do you like about yourself?
About myself, I love the ability to serve and help people. I've been doing that since I was really little. I've always had compassion and empathy, and I love just giving and helping, and probably too much putting others first, but I love it. I love it. And I always I just always want to help, and do whatever I can. And
Right.
I think that's something I like about myself, but I think sometimes I have to put it in balance.
It's all about, that's why you're here. So great. And here we go. Thank you, Edith, for participating. She's grateful for her children, her mom, for the people who support her on her journey. Grateful for the connection to source. Grateful for mindfulness. Beautiful. We've more than covered 8 now. Thank you to Edith. Thank you very much. And her appreciations for herself, her health, her strength, and her discipline. I call it Blisscipline because of my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith. But that's fantastic. And that completes breakfast because we did really well. We had a full, not a continental breakfast this morning. We had a full, nice, yummy breakfast. So thanks for joining us for breakfast. I would love it if you would continue this good life habit, this hashtag Blisscipline, for the next 28 consecutive days, with or without me in the morning. That way it'll be a habit. And I promise this is the cheapest way to have a happier life. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now it is time for the topic of the day, or the guest of the day. And this says, everything is awesome. This is my new little prop. I won it at Dave and Buster's. But we do have Kimberly Meredith in studio live today. And I'm just going to start with, you said very young age. So a question that I usually ask is, did you know when you were young that this was what you were going to be doing with your life? And I think most people say no, but I think you're going to say yes. That would be my guess. But take me back, Kimberly Meredith.
You're just so adorable. You're amazing. It's interesting. I always had a sense as very young that I was going to be doing healing and helping, because I always was communicating with spirit with my blinking. My eyes were blinking and communicating with the omnipresent as young as 7 months old. My grandfather would film me with his camera. He was friends with a very famous director, and they would go out and film on the weekends, and he had a camera, 8mm camera. So they thought I was very unusual to be crawling and walking that young, blinking. So they had film of me, and I was laying hands on animals and saying weird words like heal, and I would see things. But and I also had a mother that was she was very young when she had me. So I always was her mother. So I was always very much into being the caretaker. So, and I went into nursing at a very young age, like as young as 14, 15. I wanted to be a nurse assistant. I wanted to be a candy striper. I worked in hospitals my whole life. So I always wanted to help people. But I never thought in a million years I would be doing this type of work. I went into the entertainment world also. I was an on-set medical advisor, worked as a writer. Never this sort of work. And at the height of this type of work, where I became such a huge hands-on healer, where such massive surgical hands-on healing that I do, and prayer, and becoming an author. I never thought that, but it makes sense to me now. My cousin was a very famous author, Joanne Kiger. And I remember as a young kid hearing, oh, Joanne's with Allen Ginsberg. They just went and saw the Dalai Lama. She had written 34 books. And I was writing as a young child. I think I thought I'd become more of a writer because the writing was so prolific. And I was writing. When I was little, I had written, I remember my grandmother saying, Kimmy's going to be a writer. I'd written probably 16 plays by the time I was like 14 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of writing, a lot of writing. And even when I was working in the hospitals, working on the cancer floors and ER, I couldn't stop writing. The writing was really a big obsession with me throughout my life. And writing was just a constant thing for me to survive. You know, I came from a really hard upbringing. So the writing was constant. And now that I look back, I was channeling the writing. The writing was channeling. And I feel like spirit was always coming through.
Okay.
Always, even in the hospitals when I was working hardcore on the floors.
Okay. So let's go back a little bit. I do have a lot of listeners who are not familiar with things like channeling or and let's go back to blinking too, because that's like different. And so if you've just tuned in and you're on what's going on in the studio today, this is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa and my very special guest returning to the studio, Kimberly Meredith. Now, this is extra dimensional. So the premise and the foundation of your life is not just human. So when you're talking about channeling, when you're talking about blinking, when you're talking about laying your hands to heal, this is I want to know, did this come from a religious background, or was this like, at what point did you know that this was not quote unquote normal? So
Well, okay. Like being a singer,
yes,
or an actor, or a writer, or an accountant, or whatever you are, you're born with a gift. So this is my gift. I was born with this ability to connect to the afterlife. I came into the world with healing abilities and the gift of being a psychic and a medium. But at the age of around, I'd say 8, 9 years old, I was told by a parental figure to stop. Flat out stop this ability. And I was tested even at that age by some doctors. Why was this going on? And they were saying, oh, you have this sort of thing, or you're autistic, or certain things, and don't do it. You know, put glasses on, this thing, you know, you have these things, you know, you don't do those things at school. And I said, well, I'm reincarnated. And they said, who told you you're reincarnated? And I said, I heard that. Where? Well, I just heard I was reincarnated. And then I would say, look at my hands. And they said, well, you do have a lot of lines on your hands. And I said, well, that's because they forgot to change my hands when I came back. And they said, where'd you come from? I said, heaven. And I didn't get expelled, but they didn't like that. And in that time period, I was also singing. I would sing. I was in all the plays. I was a singer. My mom was also an actress, but she didn't believe in any of this stuff. Fortunate enough, my cousin, who's this writer, bohemian, a Buddhist, Joanne Kiger, she did believe in that. And my grandmother was not against it. So she was encouraging it. But in that time, the Shirley MacLaine and all that was not out. It was kind of, but not that. Est, I think, was kind of happening. My cousin was kind of into that. But they just said, stop it. So I let it, I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
When my near-death experiences happen is when it all came out again. But when I was working in the hospitals, real quick, I would have these occurrences happen where things would occur.
Mm-hmm. And I can understand why your parents or whoever, multiple people would say, stop doing that. One, I believe they were well-meaning. Some more mean them well. They didn't want you to get ridiculed or bullied for being different. Okay. So because we don't live, like you said, that is then was not even something in the realm of, I think Shirley MacLaine really was the first person to really talk about it. And only because she was a recognized actress that we even okay, but I often refer to, I'm not a Shirley MacLaine because she is synonymous with sort of bringing the woo-woo into the common, dialogue as the average person. But now it is very much more out into the open with a lot of people talking about near-death experiences. I refer to them as a way to get people not to be so afraid of dying, because everybody that's gone over there has been pretty happy with, not so happy coming back. And I do want to ask you about, you've had 2 experiences, but the good news is there's a much more accepted understanding that we're all energy. And I think that forces one to not dismiss what you're saying and what you do. And, I'm saying this for people who are just ready to go, oh my God, what are you talking about? Because, what is that? Contempt before investigation. And, I'm sure you have experienced a lot of you're crazy. So
I actually haven't.
Oh, okay.
I think more people are dying to have gifts and powers. I think the show Bewitch, that was so popular with, and I know I met Elizabeth Montgomery, and she loved playing that role. And I feel like that opened up a whole genre of, and right now, it's such a popular show. So many new agers love that show. I feel like I haven't had a lot of that because so many people want to open up their abilities. And
I think that's great. And I'm glad that has happened.
And so people want to have their intuition. And I understand what you mean about maybe mainstream would be kind of like, what is a chakra or what is an awakening? But the matter of me pushing it down for almost half my life, and then it reawakening, I feel I don't have a regret about it, but I do feel that more people are going to have more awakenings.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a quick break for news, traffic and weather, and then come back, because I do want to hear about that near-death experience. And I'm really glad that you overcame the, don't do that anymore. Because I'm all about, I believe as well that everybody has a unique gift, talent, and ability. And when we come back, she's going to actually do something to me with her gift, talent, and ability. And so you're going to want to come back for that. Don't go away. We'll be back. Chuck Willery would say 2 and 2. Bless him. He's on the other side now. You know me. Peace in, peace out. We'll be right back.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA. The station that leaves no listener behind. AM 1050, FM 106.5, and home to the Asian Oprah. It's #1 talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And home to 1,285 podcast shows over the last 658 consecutive weeks. Thank you very much for all of those who are helping make that happen. And of course, I bring you the latest and greatest. And today is no exception. I have Kimberly Meredith back in studio. I met her at the Conscious Life Expo, interviewed her and one of the people that she helped heal, Dodger pitcher, Frankie Salazar.
Sandoval.
See, I knew I had something wrong there. Sandoval. Yes.
Yeah.
So
he's still healed.
He's still healed. And what did he have again?
He had colon cancer.
That's right. And it was stage like 3 or 4. So it wasn't early. So healing. Okay. So you're a healer.
I am.
You channel that energy, that source. Some people call it God. Some people call it whatever you call it, that power out there. I don't know. I don't know if I channel, but I do know that in meditation I connect, with that power, and it provides the energy and the creativity and the love for life that I have. So that much we're on the same page. Now, the extra ability you had that you said awakened. Tell me about your near-death experience, the abridged version.
Yeah, I'm a preventative medical intuitive also. I like to go in and find things in the body before people know that they have them. So that's really cool. And that happened after I had this near-death experience. All my abilities awakened after the NDE. I had 2 near-death experiences about a decade ago. Time has flown. And they were in the midst of me doing a lot. I was working on, on 3 television shows. I was working on Grey's Anatomy. I was working on Young and Restless. I was working on a new television show that was created for me being a medical technical advisor and a writer. And it was so exciting. It was finally my own show. And I was working also at the hospital. And I was doing a lot and taking care of my grandmother. And I think I was spinning my wheels real fast. And I was getting into a car, and the car hit me. And so on foot. And I ended up at the hospital, and I flatlined. And was not a good experience. So it's in the book, the whole thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You were walking and a car hit you.
Yeah.
You were in a car driving. You were
I was on foot. Okay. And I ended up there for about 2 months. I was in the hospital, and lots of procedures and lots of situations went on there that were horrific. And it was really devastating because I lost that whole career. Career that I had. I'd worked for over many, 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 many years. And you know, when you're working on something that close to your heart, that it's just devastating. And I ended up in a wheelchair, ended up in a collar, ended up with broken bones. I was drinking out of a straw, told I would never be able to walk again and hold my head up for long periods of time.
Wow.
And also, I was in a relationship where I was about to get married. That fell apart. And I experienced the Holy Spirit. When I had gone to the other side, they were shooting me up. I don't want to get too graphic. It's really quite graphic.
Okay.
They were doing lots of things to me.
Okay.
I experienced, when you talk about God, Holy Spirit, omnipresent, and it's more detailed in the book. I experienced, God. And God, I like to say God. My grandmother, when I was young, she used to call me Chon, Chon. I was never called Kimberly or Kimmy. It was always Chon, which is a name in Korean, I think, called heaven. And you can look it up, Chon. And I kept hearing Chon, and we're very close. Now she's on the other side. And the chills were going through my body, and I was on the other side, and I kept hearing, come back, and a pressure on my chest. And the light was so bright going through my eyes, just shoo, like that. And kept saying, come back. But I really liked it over there. It was like amazing. And I
That's
kept,
what I.
and I kept feeling that calmness and soothingness of being there. It was so comfy. But at the same time, I could feel this like mess, going on here. And this very like that, So like, oh, I want to stay there, here, there, here. Anyway, so I came back. And then when I came back, it was like that, But I felt like, when you say like you see the Jesus and all that and everything, I don't know if I saw that, but I did see some ancestors coming to me, because later I told my aunt, I saw this woman. She's like, that was your great grandmother. I was like, oh. But the interesting thing was, and this is just, I get chills right now talking about it, blows unbelievably my mind. I mean, this is, I still to this day, because I'm talking about it, it's happening right now. Within a month after, when I came home, still in the wheelchair, my whole demeanor changed with the speaking, and my eyes, with the light that had gone through me, my eyes, because I received God, Holy Spirit, my eyes had started blinking the way they did when I was a baby. So God had the Holy Spirit through my legs, through the chills. And I don't know if you've ever read any books by Dr. Quimby or Catherine Kuhlman, or these faith healers that lay hands back in those days. There's no doubt in my mind, and other people that have tested me, that because my eyes started communicating again and blinking, that I had received, my gifts had awakened back again, because they started blinking after I came home from the hospital. So I received the Holy Spirit back again, and my gifts had reappeared from that near death.
And the blinking is the blinking you're doing now, which is like more so than a normal, frequency of blinking, is what you're talking
about. The gift I had when I came into the world, they came back through my body after I had the near-death experience. They recommunicated with me again.
Okay.
And channeling all the spirit team.
Got it. And then the blinking is just a sign of the return, or it's an actual part of the healing?
No, it's me communicating with my spirit team and the Holy Spirit.
whenever you blink.
It's not just blinking, it's the communication with the guides. Communicate all of the messages that I get, how I save lives, how I get information.
Okay. So they're received through the eyes.
Yes.
Okay. And the blinking is to
That's how I wrote all my books.
communicate.
That's how I
Okay.
communicate everything. So I'm 100% a trance channeler. So if you look up mediumship, psychics, trance channelers, so like Jane Roberts was a trance channeler.
Okay.
Edgar Cayce was a trance channeler. So there's psychics, there's mediums. So not all psychics are mediums. Mediums are psychics. Trance channelers are not all psychics. Not all trance channelers are mediums. I am a trance channeler, psychic, and a medium. I'm all three.
Got it. Abraham Hicks is
I don't know. I think it's a trance channeler. Yes.
what's okay.
So
So
Bashar is a trance channeler.
okay. So that means this is a whole new language for me. This is like a whole new dictionary.
We can do
So-
another show.
Yeah, it's so you're opening many eyes, literally, pun intended. So so let's just do some of this. All right. So
Okay.
I want you to do your thing on me because it's my show and I love doing new things. And I've never had this done before. This was not set up. I don't do pre-interviews, so she didn't know until she came into the green room that she was going to be doing this. So here we go. What are you going to do to me?
Okay, sounds good. I want to do my new readings that I'm doing right now, which is called my medical. And I love doing medical intuitive readings, which are great. That's my staple reading that I do, and healing, of course. But I also do this new thing that it just started happening in the last 2.5 years, especially after COVID, which is something that I do connected to my mother, who my mom started coming in and showing me the sign of the 8. The 8, like you said in the beginning, is a really strong, significant symbol right now that we're going through, because also the 8 is a sign of the infinity sign. And the infinity sign they're trying to tell me, the guys, is that we never die. We just transcend and we keep coming back and we keep learning. And also it's a sign of our soulmate energy. And it's also something that they're trying to communicate, which is called the soul frequency. And so I do this thing called the soul frequency reading for people. And also it brings in the medical too and the afterlife. It's a whole family affair. So the soul frequency reading I'm going to do. And I'm going to do a few numbers, which means, okay, here's something else. The soul frequency reading is about this. You come in the world and they tell me you have specific numbers that they are reading for you. And these numbers are about your life path. And they're telling me they're going to start channeling these. Okay, I don't know. Do you know what Elohim means? Elohim. It's in
God
Hebrew.
in
Yes.
Hebrew. Okay.
Yeah. So they're
Yes.
first saying Elohim to you.
Okay.
So they say you're very connected to the Elohim, God.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying so when you came in the world, the first number, I'm getting chills, they're writing down for you. I'm going to tell you what the first number in a minute. Then they're telling me, so I turn my head as I only hear spirit to the left ear. So I lost hearing on my right ear when I had the accident. So they only speak to me to the left ear, and they whisper. Okay. I'm getting your numbers. Okay. Okay. Take a deep breath. Okay. Okay. Your first number that comes in is a 7. And the 7 represents in the Elohim. Okay. You're very connected to the energy of spirituality. And you're very connected to God, source. You just have that about you. And you're really, if you're not doing it now, you will be doing it in this lifetime. You're a teacher. Now, I don't know if you felt like that when you were young, but you've always had the sense of you, they're telling me, to be someone that wants to go out and speak also, like something about you being on stage or you being out there, you telling people stuff, but makes sense that you're having a show. But they're also saying the 9 is next. So you're a 7 and a 9. The 9 is big community, lots of people, very social, that you always, I don't know if when you were small, but there's something about you being around lots of community and lots of people, and they like it in big, like lots of people big. You're a 7 and a 9. The next thing is the 10. They have you, the guides, God, the guides, the team, they have you on a mission. The 10 is the mission. They've sent you on a mission from the beginning. And then you have the 11. The 11 with the guides is like the angelic 11 means abundance.
I like that.
If you look at the 11s in the angelic realm, it's when you hear something, they're sending you to go, the 11. And then they're talking about physically for you. I hear also there's a relative on the other side talking to me about your health. So that comes in about your health. The relative, I'm not seeing who it is yet, but they're talking about something. I don't know if this is, we can go over your soul frequency numbers again about that, but this relative that's coming in that's talking about your health is talking about something in your lower extremities for some reason. And I don't know if you did have something in your lower extremities happen.
2 hip replacements.
Yeah, they're going down the lower part. And they're also telling me because of the hip replacement, I don't know if something was bothering you with your knee or your foot because of that, but something around the lower hip may have will start happening because of the hip, with a lower knee might start bothering you.
I had a pulmonary embolism that started out of a DVT blood clot that started behind my left knee.
Yeah, they're talking about that. Did you wear a stocking or anything? Or are you wearing a stocking sometimes?
No, but I probably should be when I'm traveling.
That's what they're saying. And then, yeah. And then really quick, because they want to go back to the 7 and the 9 to talk to you about that real quick. Mm-hmm. But they are talking about, they're very chatty. There's someone on the other side that likes to talk a lot. They're trying to come in on the reading, and they're on the left shoulder of mine. Mm-hmm. And they're like talking a lot. Is this a man? Is this a woman? Yes, this is a woman on the other side talking. This is a woman. The woman is saying she was really close to you. Did your grandmother cross over? Or
she wasn't my blood grandmother. She was my mom's unofficial mom. She was a Russian Jewish woman who I got to stay with when I was doing my dissertation. She's not real chatty though, but she did very much love me.
There's some woman over there, and I feel like, what was her name?
Anna Blum.
I just feel like there's a woman, when you say that, she's going, yes, but maybe it wasn't her at first, but she wants to come in. But there's a woman trying to come in, and she's the one that keeps pointing to the spiritual 7. She keeps saying God. I don't know if she was spiritual or she liked God, but she keeps pointing to this God energy.
Okay. That one's not coming clear, but yeah, most of the figures who have passed, who are, when you were first talking, they're guys, they're men. So my dad left early with lymphoma, but he wasn't chatty either.
No, he's not coming in for me. It's a woman coming in.
Okay, so I'll have to. Not that I was super close to. Well. Michael's mom, Alice Beckwith.
No, when you said Anna, I feel like it's her coming in.
Oh,
and
okay.
she's going to talk about She's talking about your mission. She's talking about you moving forward on this like mission, and she's really wanting to go along with you on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
she's telling me she's been with you a lot. She's breaking through. She's not letting anybody else come in right now.
Can you ask her what her favorite color was? So I think if you give me the color, then I'll know it's this one.
I don't know. She's not giving me any kind of color
Okay.
or anything. She's not doing that. She keeps talking about the 11s with me. She says, when you see 11, that's her.
Okay. Yeah, I see 1111 and 1144 a lot.
That's when she's
Yeah.
saying she's making
Okay.
connection with you.
Mhm.
Anna is also telling me something about, I don't know, how'd she cross over? She's going around her head. I don't know. She's saying to me.
No.
Okay.
I don't even remember, to be honest. She died of old age, but
Yeah, she's around you, that like around your head sometimes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as I said, I'm like a reluctant woo-woo, and people have called me a healer, and I'm like, I don't think so. And then my hand will go to where they have an issue. So outside of my own blocking, I know that I have that, and the receiving that I get when I'm writing or speaking or whatever. It's funny because from a young age, I've had that dream on stage with a ton of people.
Yeah, let's go to soul frequency readings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was chills, because I've had that recurring, and I am a motivational speaker, and I have had thousands and thousands of people listening to me talk on various things. So that's already, materializing. That is definitely a part of my life. I do, my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, sees even more like of that, as like I'm only getting started. To me, this is already huge, but for him, he thinks it's going to be a lot more. So that aligns with
yeah, that's great. Let me explain these soul frequency numbers to you. So this is my next book that I'm working on. I've done hundreds of these, and what happens there, the soul frequency numbers are not only for an individual person, they are for maybe your dating or your marriage, they're for kids, they're for work, they're for everything. Has a frequency. Everything has a number attached to it. So so like someone could be born with a 5. You could have been born with a 4. You could have been born, a 5 is a person that's very cutthroat with business. A 4 is somebody that's just a constant healer. To be born with a 7 is an amazing number to be born with, because they're saying when you came in the world, you already are at the highest level of spirituality, and you already are ready to go out there and teach. So it's really cool. And then the 9 is that, I don't know if you feel like you just love to be in the community. You love to be like around people. You love to be social. Is that true?
Used to be more true. I'm becoming more of an introvert. But that first number, I've been teaching since I was 13.
Yeah.
I became a piano teacher. When my piano teacher died, I took on her younger students. Yeah.
So they're saying when people get these numbers, sometimes they go back to doing some of these things again.
Oh, I have never stopped teaching.
Yeah.
I was a professor at UCLA for 6 years, and I just went back and taught a course in the fall. So, yeah.
These numbers come from not me. These are coming from my eyes blinking and the guides giving me the message. Then the 10, not everybody has a 10. The 10 means that the guide source, the omnipresent, is sending you on a particular mission. So what your mission is, this is a longer reading. This is 60-minute reading. I do a break off from that 10 to figure out exactly what, Marissa, they have you on. So there might be, like you said, Michael Beckwith said they sees you on, this other thing. Then the next number was the 11. So that 11 is that, like you said, that angelic movement forward with the guides, saying that's a huge abundance situation there for you. So those are just the first 4 numbers. I go up to like 2034 with these numbers.
Well, I just looked over at the ocean of abundance that I get to live by, and the most beautiful thing that I love to see is birds flying in formation. And just now, as you were speaking, I've never seen this happen. The birds were near the water and flying in formation just across there. So I'm going to have to stop being a reluctant woo-woo. It sounds like.
Yeah. And then I also feel that you're that lovely lady, Anna, she's coming in. She keeps saying, I am a soulmate connection of yours. I loved you so much. How close were you? Because she keeps saying, I want to go on this mission with you. And I'm one of your guides.
I think it sounds more like Reverend Lissa is why I'm asked. Her favorite color was blue. And I thought maybe it was her, because my grandma Anna was not, she was love, but not in the space of the 7. Okay. So Reverend Lissa was definitely, you have a lot to do. You have a mission. She's the one that started me reading, where's that? This thing called You, so I feel like it's not just one woman, is what I'm feeling.
You just mentioned that. I am getting both of them coming in.
Okay.
Yeah. I do feel that for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. And I don't want to, we have 5 minutes left. As much as I want this to be about me, I want to make sure people know how to get your book and how to contact you and how to be part of you. And to, you can get your own reading with her. You can also listen to many of the podcast shows she's had. And I want to make sure that people know that. But yeah, I'm on a happy 88 mission. It's been this last, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And so when you mentioned 8, this is, I didn't see, we know each other, but we really don't know each other. But this actually went number 1 on Amazon National Best, but it is 8. And that's part of the happy 88 mission.
You are on it. You are amazing. And I'm blessed to know you. I seriously blessed.
I'm going to pull up. How do we find you? And the book is everywhere, right? So, but do you have a website that I can pull up right now?
Yeah. On my website, it's called thehealingtrilogy.com.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see. Of course.
I could
pull this up.
You're reading on you, right? I can keep reading.
Keep going. I'm going to pull up how to find you. We can win here.
So yeah, there I am. You could book an appointment there. Sign up for my newsletter there. We have a really lovely class coming up this Saturday with lots of healers and psychics and mediums, and we're doing a holiday animal readings and everything this Saturday. It's a free event that we're doing, a holiday event. So if you want to come, and then I'll be at the expo this year again. Yeah, those are all my events. So yeah, I love doing events, as you can see.
That's great. Mother Mary Matrix with Kimberly Meredith and friends. So this is Saturday, December 14th. Unfortunately, I'll be in Denver because I'm speaking at Unity Denver on Sunday, but otherwise I would have been.
Oh my God, I would have loved for you to come and talk. That would have been so fun. And then on the front of the website, you can buy the book. It goes there, but a little bit farther down, it shows like, I think a little bit. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, there's my
There
book.
it is. Okay. Awakening to the Fifth Dimension. And that is available on her website as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So let's say we have 3 minutes left.
Okay, so I'm grateful that I was on the show, and I believe everybody can have a healing and a miracle. And I mean, I believe that it's possible to go into that fifth dimension, and there's a pathway to healing organically and not staying in the third dimension. And
So this is the third dimension. So you're
Yeah.
saying humanity. What's the fourth dimension?
The fourth dimension is like a bridgeway into the fifth dimension. It's being in a really, it doesn't have much for us. It's just kind of like a bridge. The fifth dimension is a dimension that is more accessible to us right now. There's many dimensions, but I feel the fifth dimension is more accessible for us at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And then when you do that, when you tilt your head, you're actually listening to someone audibly speaking to you.
I'm listening to my guides. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm listening to my spirit team. And I teach classes, Marissa. Thank you for asking. On Thursdays, I have a group of students, and new students are coming in too. And we're sold out this Thursday, but next Thursday we do have some slots, and people are learning. And it's a small group of 8 people. And I teach people mediumship skills and intuitive skills.
Because I've heard that everybody has the ability to hear and channel or listen and receive from the other side. So if this is an area that you're interested in, certainly go and check out Kimberly Meredith's classes on that. I definitely hear. I've heard an audible. People have said that I'm audio clairient because I've actually heard, telling me to write or telling me radio, or that's how this all started. So it's an interesting. I mean, it's been made to be weird, and I think the shame, not shame, but it's unfortunate that the connection to this, whatever it is, has been made look weird. And I have to say that it's wonderful to know that it isn't just this craziness called life right now, that we all have access to the energy of love, if you want to just go there, but the energy of the beyond. So that's my final word here this morning on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. Kimberly Meredith, thank you so much for coming and doing my reading. It was a great understanding of kind of there's more than what meets the eye. And we'll have to have you back to finish all the stuff that you're getting about me. But I appreciate what you have shared. We've got let's see, E to B. We've got fourth dimensions where the spirits are who did not go to the light yet. Oh, okay. So that's another way of defining. Yeah, I've never heard of that too. All right. Thank you so much. Of course, it's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Kimberly Meredith, go find her stuff and remember to go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow. Doctor's in the house. Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you, Dr. Marissa.
Of course.